Welcome to the ultimate guide on what it takes to become a boxing champion. Ever wonder what separates the greats like Muhammad Ali, Marvin Hagler, Andre Ward, and Floyd Mayweather from the rest? Well, stick around because today we're diving deep into the mindset that shapes these champions. Let's kick things off with the legend himself, Muhammad Ali. What made Ali the greatest? It wasn't just his speed and agility, it was his mindset. Ali once said, "The will must be greater than the skill." His unwavering self-belief and charismatic personality not only helped him overcome adversity, but also inspired millions around the world. And it was this mindset which allowed to overcome his adversaries in the ring. The first, listen.
I'm the greatest fighter that ever stepped foot in the ring. Money will be lost that night. This will be the biggest upset in the century of all boxing.
I think you're a big bag of wind. Damnedest showman that ever lived, and you ain't kidding anybody.
The odds are 7-1. It's very big odds for a heavyweight championship fight.
It has to be Liston. Liston is a much bigger puncher.
While these big mouth people talking about I talk too much, well, I want all of them to be there, and I'm going to shut up all of his mouth.
In retrospect, many do not realize Ali was predicted to lose the bout by everyone other than his team. Despite the physical edge in his speed, his weapon of choice, psychological warfare, everyone and their pets saw no outcome other than KO defeat for Ali, but in his words.
Great, I don't have a mark on my face, and I upset Sonny Liston, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest. I told the world, I talk to God every day. If God's with me, can't nobody be against me. I shook up the world.
Ali won, his adversaries nil. Ali's next battle was against an opponent who could have knocked out most boxers with just one punch. But this was the moment when Ali truly showcased his greatness. In 1967, he refused to be drafted into the war, famously saying,
said that I have two alternatives, either go to jail or go to the army. But I would like to say that there is another alternative, and that alternative is justice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Muhammad Ali has just refused to be inducted into the United States Armed Forces.
He refused induction on the grounds of his religious convictions on war.
My conscience won't let me go shoot my brother or some poor hungry people in the mud for big powerful America and shoot them for what? They never called me nigger.
Ali chose justice over fighting, standing up for his beliefs in world peace. As a result, he was banned from boxing for 3 years during the prime of his athletic career, from ages 25 to 29. During this time, Ali couldn't hone his boxing skills through fights, but his conviction and belief strengthened his character and mind. Standing by his beliefs showcased incredible character. In 1970, Ali's ban was lifted, and he faced a familiar challenger, George Foreman, who was younger, fresher, and arguably the hardest puncher in boxing history. By this time, Ali had aged, losing his speed and agility, but he had developed something else. His already strong mindset had been hardened through adversity, turning him into steel.
And no one can whoop him. That's when that little Cassius Clay from Louisville, Kentucky came up and stopped Sonny Liston, the man who annihilated Floyd Patterson twice. He was going to kill me. But he hit harder than George. His reach was longer than George. He was a better boxer than George. And I'm better now than I was when you saw that 22-year-old undeveloped kid running from Sonny Liston. I'm experienced now, professional. Jaw's been broke, been lost, knocked down a couple times. Bad. Been chopping trees. I done something new for this fight. I done wrestled with an alligator. That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
Ali sees the upcoming challenge like his fight with Sonny Liston, showing that despite his age, he now has the mindset of a true champion. He stays optimistic, convinced that victory is his destiny. His win over Foreman proves what it takes to be a champion, going one more round even when it seems impossible. Although Ali may have lost some athleticism, he never lost his determination. Ali's journey was always about defying expectations, but he did it with unwavering belief and focus, overcoming the odds. Despite his athletic prowess in his early career, it was his willpower that truly made him the champion we all remember. What do you think made Muhammad Ali the greatest? Comment below. Now, let's talk about Marvin Hagler. Known for his relentless determination, Hagler's mindset was like no other. He called his training regime prison because of its intensity, but it was this tunnel vision focus that propelled him to greatness. Despite being unfairly ducked by world champions, Hagler persisted and eventually became one of the most feared fighters in history. Hagler is known as a throwback fighter because he had to fight tooth and nail for every opportunity. While Floyd Mayweather retired with 50 fights and numerous championship bouts under his belt, Hagler's path was much tougher. He was unfairly avoided by other fighters and only got his shot at a world championship in his 51st bout. This shows his incredible tunnel vision focus and determination to achieve his goals despite the odds stacked against him.
In order for you to knock me out, you better hit me with that ring post because I ain't going nowhere.
One of the terms that Marvin used for his training camp was that he was going to go to jail.
I call it jail because you're sacrificing and you're away from no partying, no drinking, no woman.
Once he started this schedule, he wouldn't sit down and talk to the President of the United States come in.
That's what I feel. War. That's what's on my mind. I've been feeding the faith and I've been starving the doubt. So there's no doubt in my mind that I can't win this fight.
Stands toe to toe with Hagler. No one. Hagler was a beast in the ring. He was one of the guys who was in the best shape 100% of the time.
You know, he was so disciplined. That was the thing that I always got out of watching him. Wasn't that he was so wild. He was so mentally strong. He had an iron chin and his discipline was impeccable. He was just constantly training, never out of shape, never got fat, always doing sit-ups and push-ups.
I just want to be remembered as one of the best. Not necessarily the greatest, but one of the best. Give the kids something to imitate me.
How do you think Hagler's mindset helped him overcome obstacles? Let us know.
Until I hit rock bottom. And I looked up, and I can't speak for nobody else, but I had to look up, and I had to have a conversation with God. And I had to ask him to forgive me. And I had to ask him to come back into my life. Because I knew he was present, and I knew he was there, but I suppressed him, and I tuned him out. And I used the trauma like losing my father. I took that out on him. Instead of realizing that, man, death is a part of life. Just like living it. Sometimes we want the good, but we don't want the bad. We want the peaks, but we can't handle the valleys. It's all a part of life. And I didn't realize that all things were working for my good, that God was using that. I didn't understand it at 17 years old, but God was using my father's death to draw me closer to him. But what I did was I stood for him. And I gambled with my life. And I stopped choosing that front end hard, going to the gym, telling my partners, I can't go, bro. Man, I got to go to the gym. I stopped making them investments. And I just started withdrawing from my account. And before I knew it, I was overdrawn. And it was looking ugly. And I had to look up. And I had to ask God to forgive me, like I said. And I had to ask him to come back into my life. And it was a beautiful thing that happened. Slowly but surely, I started to feel his presence again. And the taste that I have for alcohol, the taste that I have for drugs, the taste that I have for weed, he started to take it like supernaturally. Like I got to a point where I didn't think I couldn't survive a day without being on something. See, they see me now, but they don't know what I've been through.
Before Andre Ward prepared for the Olympics, where he won a gold medal, he went through experiences that shaped him mentally. During those years, he overcame personal obstacles, which gave him inner strength. Since the age of 12, Ward hasn't lost a fight. His mindset is all about overcoming mental barriers, both inside and outside the ring.
I just hope that God helps me and hope I do good.
I really wasn't trying to fight, bro. Like, he wasn't the first option. It's like, that's one of them ones. Like, it's certain guys you sign to fight, you know it's going to be a long night or a short night if you're not careful. And I remember Verge told me, he said, Dre, part of taking a punch is mental. I'm like, what you mean? And I had got rocked early in my career, so the rumor around me was he ain't got no chin. That was the rumor, right? Now I'm fighting this dude, and I'm talking about dude could crack. Like, that's still to this day the hardest puncher I've ever fought. And he said, part of taking a punch is mental. It's a mindset. And I was like, what you mean? He said, make up your mind right now, and no matter what he hits you with, you ain't going nowhere. And it shows you the power of the mind. And I beat him, but if I look back at that fight, dude hit me a couple times, you could hear smack. A couple times, boom, I would take the shot, and I came right back, and I didn't even think about it. Right? Now, I paid for it after. Because when that adrenaline came down, oh my God. Bro, that's the worst I ever felt after a fight. So that was my moment of graduation, and that let me know the power of my mind. Bro, I walked through some stuff that I don't even, to this day, I don't know how I walked through it. And he told me after, bro, you took a good shot. So there's a physical component, there's a spiritual component, but it's a mindset, man. If your mind is in line with your work ethic, and is in line with the physical work you're putting in, come on, bro. It's going to be hard to stop it. It's going to be hard to stop it.
On Ward's journey to winning a world title, he faced hard-punching Edison Miranda. Ward speaks about the mental strength he needed to overcome Miranda, implying that the fight wasn't won by skill or technique alone, but by mental qualities. This experience then paved the way for him to become a world champion, Olympic gold medalist, undefeated from the age of 12 till retirement from boxing. How do you think Ward's mindset helped him stay undefeated? Tell us in the comments.
Receiving a lot of money or receiving a belt, I can retire today. I'm well off, very comfortable. But I got the will to win. I'm out there 4 or 5 in the morning working to this day. As I think back when I was a child, every day I would come home and watch every legendary champion. It wasn't one fighter I wanted to be like. Some days I wanted to fight like Leonard. Another day I want to fight like Hagler. But then I want to be a killer like Mike Tyson. I said I'm going to take a little bit from every one of them and put it all in one box and shake it up and see what we come up with.
And finally, the undefeated champion, Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather's mindset is all about focus and dedication. His relentless work ethic and unwavering focus inside and outside the ring made him one of the greatest defensive boxers of all time. Although Floyd appeared to have a wild side, when it came to focus and discipline, he was a modern-day Marvin Hagler.
Another guy's working 10 rounds on the bag. I got to work 30 rounds on the bag. If he's boxing 10 rounds in the gym, I got to box 17 rounds in the gym. I've always got to outdo the person that's on my left and the person that's on my right.
Mayweather was incredibly skilled, but how important is focus in achieving success? Share your thoughts. So, what does it take to be a champion like Ali, Hagler, Mayweather, and Ward? It's not just about physical strength. It's about having the mindset of a champion. Remember, the will must be greater than the skill. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.